Kenya's president witnesses investment deals worth $238 million in the U.S. All right, then, so let's get more details, not just on those deals, but of course the meeting between the leaders of Kenya and the United States in the White House 24 hours ago. Calvin Dark joins us now. He's the founder of CD Global Strategies. He's live in Washington, D.C. at the moment. Calvin, thank you for your time. So broadly speaking, did this meeting live up for expectations? Because it didn't see any big deals, big announcements coming through on the trade side or the defense side.
Well, I think it did because, frankly, I think the expectations were very low. I think that both leaders came to the table with very clear, concrete deliverables. Now, whether or not those deliverables will actually result in something that benefits Kenya or the United States remains to be seen. But I do think it was a success on that front. I also think that it was more of a success for President Kenyatta because, as you're aware, President Donald Trump has got a lot on his plate and most of it's not good. And that overshadowed what could have been a really good opportunity to talk about the trade initiatives that the administration wants to do.
Indeed. President Trump also spoke of working on a major infrastructure project. He was referring to the pitch there by the Petrol Corporation to build a 6-lane highway between the port city of Mombasa and the capital, Nairobi. But the cost there is about $4 billion. Kenya right now can't take on that kind of debt. So isn't this project pretty much dead on arrival?
Well, I wouldn't count it out so quickly, and here's why. This deal that President Trump alluded to in his comments with President Kenyatta involved American companies who have an incentive to make sure that this works, or at least they're going to try their best to make it work. And also, as you know, this could really rival the influence that China is having in the transportation sector in Kenya. That's an incentive for President Donald Trump to have in his pocket as he negotiates the trade war and tries to get China to be more cooperative in the denuclearization with North Korea. So whenever you have private sector U.S. companies involved, don't ever count them out because they'll do it for that dollar.
Indeed. One last question for you, Calvin. Africa definitely not a focus for this administration. But given that the White House right now is focusing so much on trade, but at the same time, you're seeing a lot of Africa-specific posts from ambassadors to State Department posts essentially wide open. How seriously should we take the White House when they say they're committed to increasing trade volumes with Africa?
Well, what I think you need to differentiate between is the United States and the Trump administration. And what I mean is that there are many programs and initiatives that were here before President Trump and will be here after President Trump. Now, to the extent that there is a strategic plan, which I'm not aware of it, and I don't think many people are in this country, of what President Trump wants to do in Africa, but if there is one somewhere, it could coincide with the trade initiatives already underway, and there could be benefits. Or if there continues to be this kind of rudderless, tactical, not strategic way of dealing with Africa, then we won't see it. But I encourage African countries to play the long game and think about what the United States and the individual African countries can accomplish in the long term.
Indeed. We'll leave it there for the time being. Calvin Dark from CD Global Strategies, thank you for your time.